MMC Mabaso, great to have you on our show today to come and talk, of course, about human settlements or housing in the city of Johannesburg.
No, thank you very much for having me.
MMC, are you working on reducing the massive housing backlog in the city? And at what rate are you doing that?
All the houses that we build as the city, all the units that we contract as the city, we relies on the allocation of grants that we receive from the national government and the provincial government. So at the current moment, we are sitting with 245 million that was allocated in this current financial year. But we have engaged the MEC to say we have a capacity and we have a project lined up. Could you at least give us more money? The other factor is that the housing list has not been verified. That's the thing. In that list, you will find people that do not qualify for RDP houses, that qualify for social houses, that qualify for bond houses. And you will find that there are people that have passed away now. Then we still have to find a mechanism of how we're going to deal with that. So we are in that process as well. And also, we have taken a decision to say we must communicate with those people. Because, you know, our residents, they come and make applications for RTP houses, for assistance from government. And after that, there is no formal communication, at least an SMS, so that while you are waiting, at least you know where are we as government in terms of the development of houses in the city of Johannesburg.
You are fairly new in the portfolio that you now occupy. Are you confident, though, that you'll be able to provide sustainable living conditions for the needy?
I'm confident because even though we have the capacity as the municipality, as the department, but we also need the private sector to assist us, you know, in terms of dealing with that. Because as Georgeco, we will provide houses, social houses. Judging from the results of the meeting that we had with the MEC for Human Settlement, to say we are going to work together, because you know what happened previous with the previous administration, the working relationship, the intergovernmental relationship that they had with the province and the national, you know, was not good in such a way that even the grants that were allocated were not sufficient enough to cater for the backlog in the city of Johannesburg.
And now let's talk about the multi-million rand rejuvenation project, particularly in the inner city. How is that program going so far? Are you behind or still on track?
You know, that program is sitting with JPC. But on our side, we also want JPC to assist us, you know, because we want to acquire buildings in the inner city. We want to provide a temporary emergency accommodation. Georgeco is our entity. We have capacity. They are going to deliver. So we also want buildings in the inner city. 3, we are embarking in a program for our student accommodation. So we also want buildings for this because we want to develop a student precinct in the inner city, like your Doornfontein, Braamfontein, and Auckland Park. So we also want, because I spoke to the MMC for Economic Development to say, please assist us to check the progress on that program, because we also want buildings. So while JPC is acquiring buildings, while JPC is releasing buildings to private developers, but as the department, we also want buildings, because we also want to assist in making sure that this program see the light of the day.
You are somebody that speaks very passionately about informal settlements, and hostels, obviously having lived at a hostel yourself for about 9 years. But many a times we see local government promise to formalize or upgrade these areas. What are you going to do differently, and why should the residents of this city trust you to do that?
You know, the good thing about me is that I've been part of the Department of Housing since 2016, even though I was on the legislature side, because I was in a Section 17, that does an oversight over the executive. When I took over, I told them that, guys, I want a clear program in terms of hostel development that we will develop as the department outside the CRU police, because I don't want anything to do with that police where the people and the hostels and informal settlements are concerned, because it assumes that everyone there is working. And that policy, it speaks against the socio-economic survey that was done. Because if you are going to do a development in the area, you must do an economic study, because that's the result of that study will guide you as to what kind of development that is required in that particular community. So the socio-economic survey was done in 2007. So we are going to do another one now. The department has spent a lot of money in repairs and maintenance in hostels. But if you go there now, there are no results. That shows that a lot of money has been spent there.
Exactly.
So we have done an assessment, because the assessment must tell us exactly what is it that we must repair in hostels. So we have completed that, and we are busy appointing right now the contractors that will do major repairs in hostels. So in this current financial year, from today up until June, we will be embarking on major repairs and maintenance in hostels. We are going to fix everything that is broken, so that when we start with the development, we don't then invest money in repairs and maintenance, because we've invested a lot of money in repairs and maintenance.
How is it? This is Dominic Oliver, and you're watching Joburg Today.